తాజ్ కృష్ణాలో జరుగుతున్న CII నేషనల్ కౌన్సిల్లో సీఎం KCR మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. లైవ్ లో చూద్దాం.
Thinking in the same line, and we expect the result to come in this line only.
Thank you. May I request Mr. Shivakumar of ITC?
Good evening, sir, and good evening, everybody. You just heard Mr. Deveshwar talking about setting up a world-class food processing facility in the state. And so I must inform everyone that within weeks after that announcement, with a speedy response from the government, the work on the project has already commenced, just about 70 kilometers out of this place. And I think that's probably about the best response that we have seen from any state in terms of from promise to action. And so that progress certainly is something that we would see going forward. On behalf of CII Agricultural Council, which I also chair, I wanted to request the Chief Minister to share a few thoughts on the agriculture vision for the state. While the broad discussion is on the industry, agriculture is an important ingredient into industry. And from the CII Center of Excellence on Agriculture and Food, we have prepared a report on mango processing for the state of Telangana, how we can make it a hub, and sometime in the near future would like to come and share that with appropriate officials in the government soon. I would like to hear something on agriculture. Thank you.
Telangana, the new state of India, is not exposed much to the country. In the state of Andhra Pradesh, we suffered a lot. The reason for an agitation in this region, our tagline of the moment was also funds, waters and employment. Water was one area where Telangana was totally denied its legitimate share. Of course, projects were drafted in the combined state, but they were always on paper only. No water used to come to the field of the farmer. That was the irony, which really made the people to agitate for their own state. And in the new state, we have planned so much. Recently, I had a review meeting with the Department of Agriculture, with the Agriculture University. We have so many plans in the agriculture sector. Telangana, as all of you know it very well, this is going to become the seed bowl of India. I can say it authoritatively. Because of the typical land classification here, excellent 900 to 1100 mm rainfall, excellent tropical weather conditions, all these are going to contribute for seed production in the state of Telangana. This is not my idea or my proposal. This is the idea of the scientists of the agriculture. That's what they suggest. And you also know it very well that the presence of seed companies is very large in Telangana. Presently about 542 companies are working in the state of Telangana. This we are going to expand, and recently we have taken a decision to promote greenhouse cultivation around Hyderabad. The climate is quite suitable, and exotic vegetables can be grown here. When Mr. Deveshwar was challenging me, I said we will accord you the permission and clearances, allocation of land, everything within the stipulated time. He was challenging me on that day, on the dais itself. Mr. Chief Minister, I am challenging you and your team that whether you are going to deliver the goods. I am announcing 8,000 crores of investment today. And we lived up to his expectation. We have cleared everything within 11 days, and all the clearance in one pack were handed over to the ITC, which the gentleman just told also. It's growing seed, growing exotic vegetables around 100 kilometers of Hyderabad. I think last year and this year, the government has allocated about 500 crores of rupees for promoting greenhouse cultivation, that is the polyhouse cultivation. It's coming up very well. I am quite hopeful. I am a passionate farmer by myself. I also have good piece of land. I have this greenhouse cultivation. I am being myself a farmer. Definitely, Telangana is going to reap results as dictated by our Chief Secretary in constructing the required irrigation projects. Very, very heavy plans are underway. We are also making our plans to raise finances to create those resources, irrigation resources to the state. And hopefully, we are going to get these projects realized within next 3 to 4 years to come. Telangana will be one of the most flourishing agriculture state also. And we will be encouraging this food processing industry. As mentioned by the gentleman from ITC, the best mango, one of the best mangoes of our country, namely Himayat-Pasand, is the signature fruit of Telangana. That's true. The very, very, its aroma, its flesh, everything is very nice. People like it across the globe. We are encouraging our farmers to grow Himayat-Pasand mangoes, extending them huge subsidies, encouraging them. I think when this comes true, this Himayat-Pasand pulp will be made available by ITC, since they have set up a huge food processing industry close to Hyderabad near Tufran with an investment of 800 crores. I think we'll be working 800 crores. 800. Yeah. It will, the dream will come true. This food processing industry and the state of Telangana will grow together. Mr. Shivakumar.
May I now request Rajshri Pathy, who's in sugar, Rajshri Sugar.
Sir, congratulations on a spectacular policy that you announced for the industrial growth, sir. Even we were here barely 8 months ago and already we've seen so many changes. Sir, you are aware of the crisis the industry is facing, sir, the sugar industry. And every sugar factory directly feeds several thousand farmers. And the Telangana millers, sir, have a very good advantage because the highest recovery in the region and one of the highest recoveries in the country, sir. And has great potential for cogeneration and for ethanol production, which the central government also has now made mandatory. So a lot of opportunities for the development of the rural economy through the industry. Sir, I ask for very few things that if you do it, we can protect the Telangana farmers. Currently, they are also suffering a lot of cane areas. So some simple measures.
Not even 10%. Please.
Some simple measures, sir, this waiver of 5% VAT, this consider entry tax on sugar. You will be one of the first states to make this progressive step because lot of sugar is coming into Telangana from neighboring states, and we should protect our farmers as an entry tax. And also this removal of VAT is very important, sir. And this export fee on molasses, sir. This sugar factories are unable to sell the molasses outside of Telangana, and they are really suffering because of that, sir. And the PDS sugar, sir, one request is...
Please.
The quota, the PDS quota, sir, please buy only from Telangana mills, sir. Other neighboring states have already announced that. Please buy PDS sugar for Telangana only from Telangana mills, sir. This way at least the farmers will get their payment on time. So that is very important, sir. And total waiver of purchase tax, sir. Most other states have removed the purchase tax. Only these few things, sir. And we will see that we will double the capacities and farmers will be very happy and most prosperous. Thank you, sir.
Rajesh, here we met earlier also. These things are under examination by the department. I think 1 or 2 connected files are under examination even by my office also. Since I do not want to make any false promises right across. It is under examination. I think there will be a favorable disposal.
Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. Pramod Chaudhary with Praj Industries, please?
Sir, congratulations for all the progress in such a short span. My question is in continuation to what Mr. Shiv Kumar said and what Rajashri Madam said. Agri also produces a lot of agri residue, and agri residue is very rich in energy. So we are promoting from CII side bioenergy movement, which can help to improve the environment, also take care of climate change aspects. So may I request, sir, if you can look into this bioenergy policy of the state, you can be one of the first state to take it forward in that direction. Thank you.
Let me be very frank on this front. Since we were suffering the power crisis, the time when the state incepted, we are just now overcoming that problem. We need to have some firm power with us, which can be supplied 24/7. We are in a very serious effort onto that, and I think we have succeeded in procuring about 91,000 crores for producing about 25,000 megawatts of power by 2019. As explained by our Chief Secretary, 12,000 megawatts plan has been already prepared, submitted to the required agencies, clearances have come. Works have been awarded to the BHEL, they are going to start it. Another 4,000 megawatts as promised, as mandated to the NTPC, which is the National Thermal Power Corporation. Recently we had a meeting with them. They are also putting in their best effort. I think that also is expected to come up as expected. Once these things are complete, simultaneously anyway we are going for this green power called solar energy. There's a very good encouragement on this front. In fact, we have called bids for about 2,000 megawatts and we have received bids for 6,000 megawatts. That's the kind of development is there in this front. I was just telling Mr. Mazumdar also. This bioelectricity, it is already existing in Telangana, but it was a flop. Hardly they give any PLF. That doesn't contribute anything to the PLF. It's quite vulnerable. Unless a strong policy is made, and this how best we can utilize the agriculture residue in the modern way, in a modern technique, with a modern technique, it cannot be a success. The present experience is like that. I think across the country also the experience is the same. And there was some biomass plants were there. Yes. This rice husk kind of thing, those experiments are also experimented here. Once we become a surplus state with the firm power, then we can go for these experiments.
Thank you, sir. We'll switch to real estate a little now. May I request Neil Raheja to, he's from the Raheja group.
Yeah, I know.
Hello. Sir, firstly, I must congratulate you. We've been operating in Telangana, Hyderabad for over 10 years. We have a joint venture with your government. And our life couldn't have been much easier in the last 1 year because earlier it was a question of why Hyderabad, and now people are happily coming into Hyderabad. We have developed space for about 50% of the IT exports comes from facilities from us. But the one feedback we've got actually from a lot of our tenants is that earlier there was a concern of surplus power, which we've addressed and we're doing a lot of good measures for, is why can't we have open access, which is allowed under the Electricity Act at the center, freely for our IT companies to use. One of the things they will be able to achieve, because power cost and power is one of the highest costs for them. If we can freely allow them to have open access, whether it's renewable energy or from whichever outside sources, their cost of operations will be much lower and it can seriously be a fillip to the industry. So my suggestion is if you could consider free open access with whatever the transmission charges and all are, it'll make a big difference in growing that power, in growing the IT industry. The second suggestion was, sir, we've got the second suggestion was we have among the best infrastructure in India for the convention and business with high-techs and the convention center. We also have great tourist facilities, tourist sites to see. One of the challenges is that we are not marketing our state both for MICE and tourism. And secondly, our taxes on hotels is among the highest in the country. If there's something could be done on that, because the tax structure on the hotels is actually very high. And this could be a great job opportunity. This could actually create a lot of jobs both directly but also for the small businessmen to promote tourist and tourism related activities and for the MICE business. So.
Neil, we met earlier also. We had a lot of discussions. Around the core city of Hyderabad, we have HMDA with us, which is about 7,200 square kilometers. The planning was not done in a proper way, the zoning and all that. And every day I receive complaints of heavy corruption, very, very heavy corruption. Though it was a little painful, we removed some of the senior bureaucrats from the highest positions from that organization. We are totally relooking at the whole zoning and how to develop this HMDU, which is promoting the new nodes of development of Hyderabad. What it should be, what it should not be, where the tourism should go, where the other things should go. All that is being looked at now. We are also trying to assign some of these activities, some good international agencies also. Very shortly we will be coming up with that policy. And this free access to power, partially it is being given now in a limited manner, because the state generating corporation also is expected to make a living and clear up the loans which have been raised from the REC. The REC chairman, I think yesterday evening he was here in Hyderabad. He handed over me the check of 16,000 crores, which is expected to be spent on the new power to come to us. So there's a striking of balance, how far it can be extended to. That matter is also under examination. The Genco authorities and the transport distribution companies recently we met. The Chief Secretary is looking into the matter. I think shortly we will make our policy very clear.
Thank you. May I request Ajit Gulabchand of HCC, please.
Well, sir, having launched upon the reconstruction of Telangana, there are two basic issues I'd like to mention. One is the infrastructure. I think the state needs a clear infrastructure policy, which how much of it will be done by the state and how much will invite private sector to participate. And when I mean by infrastructure, I mean roads, I mean water, I mean all types of it, but particularly in the area of construction. Now here there is very ancient procurement policies, ancient structures that are there, which are not working as well. And there is no clarity and a promise that changes will not be made once concessions are given. And too often governments have been able to say that we need private sector to bring in more money into infrastructure. I think it's not the best way of looking at it. A better way of looking at it would be to use private sector energy to build this infrastructure faster. So it would be nice to know what would be the infrastructure policy of the state and what kind of road network as a state roads it wishes to build, which will link with the national highways on one side. The second question, sir, is that after all, though you're 42% urbanized, is basically substantially Hyderabad. You will need more cities that are already there to be improved. You will need great cities to be created near agricultural produce so what would be the state's policy in which private sector can participate in creating this city smart? And as the Prime Minister has said, that we should have started urbanization 30 years ago. Yet, we are late now, so we should do it faster and we must make it smarter. So what is the policy of the state in the urbanization plan beyond Hyderabad, in which we can all participate?
We have witnessed two guests coming little late to the meeting. One is the Minister for Industry, Mr. Jupali Krishna Rao, Another one, Srimati Vanitha Datla, who is the chairman of our Telangana CII. They just came late because of the traffic problems in Hyderabad. We understand it, we face it every day here. So to overcome these problems in and around Hyderabad, we made very good plans. We are encouraging the private sector to participate in creating the required infrastructure for Hyderabad. I think 2,800 crores.
Yes, sir.
The total is 21,000 crores.
21,000, sir. 4,000 we are bidding right now.
Bidding,
We are putting
4,000.
for bids right now.
The GHMC, the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, was ordered to prepare plans in line with the city of Dallas of US to go in for multi-level flyovers in the junctions, and a Canadian organization called Lee Associates was assigned with the job. They made very good studies of Hyderabad and around. They gave us the reports. I think about 21,000 crores worth infrastructure creating in and around Hyderabad has been decided. I think right now we are going to call tenders for 4,000 crores. This is all we are trying to entrust to the private sector. We are expecting very big companies to come and participate in creating infrastructure for Hyderabad. We hope that it will come up in the desired manner. Yeah, this is an annuity model. Which was the other question, sir? I could not follow it. Agriculture. Satellite towns.
Not satellite to... Not
Satellite towns or cities, whatever.
No. More
Constructing
cities
new
other than
cities.
Hyderabad. New
New
cities.
cities.
Or small towns becoming bigger cities other than Hyderabad.
We fully understand. At the same time, I would like to put one idea across here. Since we possess a very good land bank with us, we are offering to the industry, whether it is IT industry, manufacturing industry, or any other kind of industry. The industries will make the allotment of lands to the industry to have their own townships, very good townships. If it is a large industry employing about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 employees, they can construct their own township in their own fashion, in the manner they desire. So these kind of encouragement, I think, from out of our industrial policy, we have come to a conclusion. Recently, I had a discussion with the CREDI and the real estate organization of Hyderabad. We are making some good plans. All those things can come up only in the area of HMDA, Hyderabad Metro Development Authority, where the greenfield activity can take place to create the real new townships, new satellite towns, or gated community kind of thing. All that is under examination. I think we'll be coming up with a very decent plan very shortly.
Thank you very much, sir.
You can tell Shalini to also look at these things. No problem.
Thank you.
ये भाषणबाजी से ही अच्छा होता है.
ठीक है, sir. Pawan Goenka, he is with Mahindras.
I know him.
You know him.
After this also we are going to meet here.
Well, sir, since I walked in late, thanks for the flight delay, I have lost my right to ask for anything.
No problem.
Instead, I'm going to market this state for you. Mahindra, as many know, has perhaps the largest manufacturing plant in the state of Telangana. And about 10 years ago, we were considering shutting down the plant. And today the plant has 2.5 lakh capacity. And that has happened because of great support that we have gotten from the undivided state and now even more aggressively from the new state of Telangana. In fact, we have just set up two new sub-plants within the plant, one for a largest tractor manufacturing plant in India, and second for a new product, Jito. And in both of them, we have gotten very good industrial support from the state. The important thing that I want to point out is that all the commitments that were made have been met, which doesn't always happen. And I thank you very much for that. Of course, there are some small issues that we have talked about, and I won't bring them up here, that we'll keep working on. But the progressiveness and the way we have gotten response from the administration has been very good for us, and it really encourages us to expand in the state more and more. So thank you for all the support that you've given us. Nothing I have to ask for. Thank you.
Thank you, Pawan. Good news for you is that the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation has ordered Mahindra to supply 2,000 Jeetos. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.